Picture this. It's 1966 and the Ford Mustang dominates the road. The USSR's uncrewed space mission, the Luna 9, has just made the first soft landing on the moon. Mod fashion is taking off, and paper dresses, the disposable fashion fad, is introduced. But today, our focus is on something a little bit sweeter, the 1966 Pillsbury Bake-off contest, specifically the original Tunnel of Fudge Cake. According to Pillsbury, the contest was introduced in 1949 to help celebrate Pillsbury's 80th birthday and to help promote Pillsbury flour. Most importantly, it was a great way for home cooks across the US to help share their stories and recipes. In 1949, the inaugural competition received thousands of entries from all across the US. Let's go back to the competition in 1966. Ellerita Helfrich of Houston wins second place at the competition when she uses Pillsbury's fudge icing mix to create a gooey chocolate center for her cake. Unfortunately, Pillsbury has since discontinued the icing mix, but they released a recipe to allow home cooks to recreate it from scratch. The cake became an American cultural icon, and not only popularized Ella's recipe, but also the bundt pan that was originally made by a Minnesota-based company called Nordic Ware. Sales for the pan significantly increased following the competition, and Nordic Ware was eventually producing up to 30,000 pans a day. In fact, some of the original pans can actually be found in the Smithsonian today. In this video, I'll be using the Pillsbury recipe to give the cake a try. Let's see how it goes. Let's start by having a look at the ingredients we'll need for this recipe. For this recipe, you'll need 1 3/4 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cups of butter, 6 eggs, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 2 1/4 cups of Pillsbury all-purpose flour or unbleached flour, 3/4 cups of unsweetened cacao, and 2 cups of chopped walnuts. Now let's get right into the baking. So you'll start off by greasing and flouring a bundt pan. Then in a mixing bowl, combine the sugar and margarine, or butter in this case. I kind of forgot to chop up the butter before because the recipe didn't recommend it, but I realized that that's a lot easier for mixing. I decided to use the KitchenAid mixer because it will make things easier, and on a medium speed, I creamed the butter and the sugar. After that, I added the eggs slowly, mixing between each addition. Once that's done, slowly add in the powdered sugar. You can do this gradually so it won't make a mess, and it will just make the mixing easier. There's a lot of sugar in this recipe, so I'm assuming it's going to be very, very sweet. By hand, you can then add in the flour. It's going to be kind of difficult to mix. I wasn't as quick as this video makes it seem. And then add in the cacao. I just dumped the cacao in all at once. And then I added in the walnuts slowly, taking time between each addition to really mix things well. Once you're all done, you can scoop the batter into the bundt pan. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can kind of even things out once everything's in there with the spoon. But make sure that it's even so that it cooks well. Once it's all even, put it into the oven at 350 for about an hour. Once it's done, you'll have to cool it for an hour on a wire rack, and then you can put it onto a serving plate to cool for another 2 hours. Now let me show you how to make the glaze. In a small bowl, you'll combine the glaze ingredients that we've listed on screen, so powdered sugar, cacao, and then milk. Depending on how liquidy you want the glaze to be, you can add in more or less milk. I actually ended up making way too much because I didn't want the cake to be that sugary. It definitely has enough powdered sugar and sugar inside, but we use the recommended from the recipe. Mix everything really well. And then use a spoon to just dollop it over the cake. It doesn't have to be perfect, it can be kind of messy. Just use the spoon and make a design. I didn't use as much as we had, as I said, because the cake is already really sugary and I just didn't feel like we needed any more on top. But the glaze does make it look really pretty. And then once you're done, voila, you can enjoy the cake. It's best fresh, as we tried it. The cake is all cooled down, so let's cut it and give it a taste. So the cake looks delicious. It has the dewy chocolate center that we were talking about, and obviously the walnuts, but now we'll give it a taste. So I'm giving the cake the first bite. I will say that it's very good, but it's very sweet, probably because of all the powdered sugar. But I definitely give this recipe a try. It's really an American classic, and if you love chocolate, you can't go wrong. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. We'll be doing a variety of tasty timelines, and we can't wait to share them with you.